Welcome everybody to a new Cryptomindd video. Let's talk about Ethereum. How is Ethereum looking like right now? Where are we potentially heading to? Are we going lower? Are we going higher? Everything about Ethereum, long term, short term, everything about it. So let's just get into it. Ethereum overall right now, I think most people can agree that Ethereum right now is super cheap. These prices right now here for crypto in general are prices that most of us never expected to see them again. A lot of people were like, Ethereum will never see 1K back or its former all-time high. It will never go under 1K. Same for Bitcoin. It's always like that. And right now, price is at 1K again for Ethereum. And people are now scared to buy. But ask yourself this. Is this a dream price for you to buy Ethereum? For me, it is. This is super cheap compared with its former all-time high or with its last all-time high that it made at 4.9K roughly. For me, this is now a very cheap price to buy in Ethereum. Can we go lower? That's the biggest question a lot of people ask themselves. And the answer is pretty simple, yes. I will explain in this video where my targets are a little bit for Ethereum. And just in general, everything how my perspective is on Ethereum right now. Which levels are interesting to see or to be seen retested in the upside. And the bearish targets obviously as well. So let's start with the bearish targets. A while ago in my group, I said as well in my private group that Ethereum between a 1K and a $670 or $640 is a must buy. So this was like here, this was my one of my last posts about Ethereum. That it's on its way to its 1.1K target, 1K target, which we are right now. And then a little bit later here, the targets obviously got achieved. Then a little bit later here, long-term based Ethereum between here and a $670 is a must buy for me. By the way, for the people who are interested in my private group, make sure to check the link in the description. You are always more than welcome. Now, between here and this was when price was at a 1.1K still. Between here and a $670, Ethereum is a must buy for me. It's very cheap for sure if you only care about the long term. If you don't really care about what the short term is doing, then right now Ethereum is a must buy for you, and you should DCA all your way around till my last bearish target, in my opinion. So where are my targets exactly for Ethereum when it comes down to being bearish? One of my targets, as you already saw, was 1.4K, which was somewhere here. Basically, its former all-time high. We did break through it this week. Then it was 1.1K, which is somewhere around here. But I'm also targeting a little bit lower. Now, here's the thing. I did talk about a $670 level, which is somewhere here, which seems very interesting in general. Between a 780 and a $730 seems interesting. Under there, we have our targets that I sell $670. That seems super interesting. All very short on each other, but it is possible for Ethereum to fall a little bit lower as well. Obviously, as we looked the last time, Ethereum from its all-time high towards its all-time low was around a 93%, 94% drop. If we do that from our point here, this should be roughly ending up with Ethereum going around a $4,300. If it's again a 93% drop, something like that. Yeah, $300-400. So I don't close out that we could potentially see a sub 500 or a little bit lower. But it would as well kind of surprised me, but I really don't close it out. For me, a clean target to target if we fall under these levels is here. These are my main levels that I would, as a long-term investor at least, I would start to buy in Ethereum. As a long-term investor, again, your goal is to be patient and accumulate crypto. Buy cheap, sell high. Simple as that. You just need a lot of patience for it, which could sometimes be patience for 2-3 years. But the patience will pay off if you understand that you have to buy cheap, which we are right between right here, and everything here is super cheap for Ethereum for sure as a long-term investor. And then your goal is to just sell it a lot higher. Don't overcomplicate things. Now, what about the upside momentum for Ethereum? Two levels that look interesting for me to be sooner or later retested. I obviously, what comes up must come down. What comes down must go up in some cases, at least with Ethereum and Bitcoin. At least with those two cryptos. The rest could be just dying. But overall, what does look or what's looking interesting for me is this level here around 1.6, 1.7k to round it off better, and then above here at a 2.5k. Now let's look at the CME futures gap for Ethereum. Not only Bitcoin has CME futures gap, but Ethereum also. And as we can see here, clearly the level that I spoke about, 1.6, 1.7k here, we have a gap all the way between, to be more accurate, the gap is between 1.4k or 1.450 and a $1,660, $1,640 level. So we have one CME futures gap here, but above we have the CME futures gap here also, which is at the target that I said of around $2,500. So these are two levels that sooner or late will be retested. Again, the thing with CME futures gaps is that they will always will be retested sooner or late. Can Ethereum still drop first to $500, for example, and then only retest here around a $2,500 or $2,600, whatever? Yes, it's possible, but sooner or late, those levels will be retested. It's always like that. Don't forget my former video that I talked about Bitcoin. It's always like that. CME futures gaps always will be retested. So these levels are levels that we should definitely pay attention to once Ethereum starts to find some stabilization in the market and starts to become more bullish in terms of its daily structure. Then these levels here are more than possible again to be revisited. So then back to Ethereum. Here. Now, let's go to the daily chart. How is the daily look like? Obviously, the daily is still looking overall super bearish. There is no reason yet for us to become bullish unless a structural zone breaks in the market. Now, there are big differences between structural zones and support and resistance zones, and most people cannot divide what is what. That's why most people don't analyze the charts in the right way. Now, anyway, if we look at Ethereum here, maybe break the structural zone here at $1,088, $1,090, whatever. Maybe break above the zone, retest it respectfully, because a structural retest is always key. Otherwise, invalidation happens and the trend just goes more down. So, respectation happens definitely and for sure. We will see here this level back, $1,250 or something. Above, we will have our $1,400 level again. And then a little bit more above $1,700, which then already starts to align with the CME futures gap that we had on Ethereum, which was here at $1,500. So these are levels that are looking very, very interesting to me. May we break its structure in a bullish way. So far, Ethereum is bearish. Reminded good. Ethereum is bearish till its structural zone breaks. And so far, as long as we are not breaking its structure, these zones are very attractive to be revisited. Now again, a lot depends also on Bitcoin, what Bitcoin is doing. Is Bitcoin bullish? Is Bitcoin going more down? How is the market reacting to it? There are a lot of factors that we have to pay attention to. But overall, right now, we are just simply looking bearish. So I hope this gives you a nice little perspective on how my view is on Ethereum. Make sure to subscribe to my channel as well if you want to stay up to date with other cryptocurrencies that I will update on in the future, so you can be prepared for the next bull market when the time comes. All right, guys, thank you for listening. See you in the next one.